video cut out, but the very end of it, what does it all mean to these people? In the first place, they get left behind, picked up. It's always like I'm just talking to them. And in some contexts, it's always like they're the only one that needs the lesson or needs me to tell them something. So at the very end, when they act like they have the names and the titles and the books and everything down, and I'm just the one flipping through one, and it's just everything that they couldn't imagine. I guess they'll just make up for all the times that they were to and from. All right. So let's get down. We'll just skip to the third point. I had more points on that second one, but at the very end of it, what does it mean to be one looked at as a ruler, from God, and to tell these people again, that's basically what I was trying to get to. I might as well be in the position of the one that has to, get on them about this case. So, after that, it's a third point, and we're on the 5 points of God. Here we go. And you see and hear that not only the Ephesus, but in almost all of Asia is Paul, who has persuaded and turned away a great many of people, saying gods made with hands are not God, referring to the idols, referring to the people that want to be, more on, who am I and what are my powers and characteristics. It has to do with after this and after we have, our judgment and our wrath, why would I say that I serve God when I had nothing to do with God? I was sinning all my life, or I was doing things to be one nature by myself, or I was trying to be in a society where they just didn't really mind to be the outcast or the left out. And to be honest, that has nothing to do with what earth and life and even the mission of what every being of existence should has to do with. It has to do with what you want to complete at the very end of your life. At the end of your legacy, what do you want to be known as? What do you want to be known as the person that took up for all of creation and all of the purpose of what it is to be the greatest, or do you want to be someone that was known about more than what it meant, about characters and traits that people just couldn't understand? It's just like that's what you are when you try to look into your personality, or your you to a point of idling worship idols and all the things like that. So it's like, so God has no real purpose for that. God doesn't have any mind that you try to look at dreams and hopes, but at the very end of it, don't do that. Don't be there for them like that. Like when you look at an owl, or you look at a idol or a god or a goddess, like in mythology or anything like that. Those are ideas and wants that people want at the end of their life, at the end of their legacy. It's like if you're gonna look into that at right now and end times, you might as well say that you're copping out for the next T-shirt. It's like I could be right, among the people that came to and from God, and I just fell off a little bit. No, I think I'm just gonna say that when God retired, I retired, and he gave me a shirt at the end of it all. That's basically what idol worship is to what it goes and the big scale and big scheme of things. So that's basically what Paul is. He's like, turn away from those idols. Those idols don't mean anything to anybody. And if they do, it's down the line with nothing left. So there's a third point of God, and we will continue. Fourth point. Foresee that earnestness this godly grief has produced in you, and all also what eagerness, and clear yourselves what indigenous fear, what long, what zeal, what punishment. At every point you have proved yourself innocent in the matter. And it's like, okay, so look at what it means now. Look at what it means, to be on all these points, and, to show all these people to stray away from the wrong way. And even if you're wrong, give them more than the reason to be in the right and do the right for the right reasons. At the very end, the wrong's the blank. It's like, what do I have to live up to next? And, so this is basically what this verse is. It's like, you see all this, and you see what the punishment and the wrath will be with these people in the end times with God's judgment. And it's just like, if you were going to live up to evil or live up to a dark name, you should live up to the exact essence of what it means to be in the complete right, and then have whatever it is portrayed as the idea. And so it's like, through all these points and getting on to these people and getting on to what it is, it's like you're not even doing the things in the right context. It's like you're doing it way out of proportion, way out of your way. You're like going 5, 6 levels above and beyond the greater way of what it means to live your life for a higher purpose. It's like, so get in the right mindset that that's not even something you need to be worried about. And when it is something you worry about, have it at the end with, appointed ones, appointed people that show you the way, show you why you do these things, show you why it's to be like this and to be in the right of a wrong way. And that's exactly what these people want. They want the wrong ways to be, the only thing you need to be worried about. When really that's the last thing you need to be worried about. That's been, to and from with God and essay to say on like another level, and you ain't done. And to blank that. To leave that at the very end of what people's life should be, just like, I was just on the dark side of that, but at the very end of it, where all these points lie, connect all these points to the very end. All right, so let me get to the last fifth point of God. Usually, I did like 4 or 5, just meditation services in my house, but, at the very end of it, I just wanted to be done with recording. I feel like when I record, it's just something that, I send out to my media, and then the media is just like, it's never there. So there's like no point in me doing it, and, people could listen to it or not, but at the very end, what does this mean? And I came to find out that the fifth point is for God. God speaks through the Bible and the Word and me and spirituality all the time. But at the very end of, a service or something, that you try to make into the, light of the right way, and just give it to God and let God do what He's gonna do with this. So here's the fifth point of God, and it's definitely just to show you, and first and foremost to give you the actual knowledge of what it means to be, you know, someone to look to the appointed one, because it's always about a fight or something, negative, or an idol or something else that's like completely off. So here's the fifth point of that. Now, therefore, why are you putting God to the test by placing a yoke on the neck of the disciples, and neither our fathers nor have been able to bear? Because why are you testing God about what He knows and who He is? Why are you going way beyond what your capabilities are when it comes to looking into what it means to follow God on a different way or a different path? It's like, why are you overstepping? And why are you testing what God's patience and love is during these end times and judgments? Because you know this is exactly what it means when He has no more left to give. Yeah, I give it to my Son because when I tell you, it will be what it is. Period. There will be no other explanation for it. It will be exactly that, and that's it. So I just want to tell everyone else, thank you for, tuning in if you are, and if not, then you know what, this is just for you, Illuminati. You know exactly where I am, exactly what I'm doing, and I'm not sitting here trying to sugarcoat anything, because I don't give a damn. It's all about God and what He says, and at the very end of it, you're going to have to look at me as well as the rest of these, appointed authorities that God shows, and you're going to have to tell them exactly what you did in your life that was so wrong that made it so right.